Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is Dr. Richards with you today again, and I want to talk to you some more about love and relationships. All right. And I want to speak specifically about the love languages. Now, relationships are hurting a lot. Many persons are giving up hope. There is a struggle with a lot of relationships, and it's hard work, but you have to put the work in to get the results that you need to see happening. It's not just going to happen by itself. And one of the joys that I have when I do my couples therapy, sometimes couples come in and they're like at wit's end. It's over for them. They can't stand it anymore. They just want to be done with this relationship. But then after some interventions and some work, they're singing something completely different. They're like, oh, we're so in love again. We want to start working on a relationship and we feel the same way that we felt when we just got together. So that's a joy of just doing some work in your relationship. But we want to keep doing that to make things happen. All right. And sometimes, I do have someone in my house. They love to do some cooking. All right. And sometimes when meals are prepared, they add their own ingredients. They kind of spice things up a little bit, and it tastes so different. They just don't like the same old, same old. And I think the spices, the ingredients, sometimes the red peppers, and there are some things that will really enhance the meal. And I think it's the same thing with our relationships too. Sometimes we just need a little bit of spices, a little bit of ingredients, some things to really get our relationship up and running again. So it doesn't mean all the time that it's over. All right. So interventions are important. The spices are really good. So one of the things that I want to do, and I think a great ingredients, is to recognize your love languages in your relationship. You have to recognize how your partner or the significant person in your life, how they actually receive love. How do we give and receive love in our relationship? And that is done through our love languages. Now, and that's just similar to speaking any language. Sometimes one of the favorite grocery store that I do go to, they're Korean. So I'm English speaking. So when I go there, it's so difficult to communicate just to get what I need. And sometimes it feels so frustrating, but for sure, we have to just keep at it. But, it's great when we're speaking the language in which someone else is able to understand what we're saying. And it's the same thing with love and our relationships. Their love languages that are significant person, they're better able to receive love. And we want to be able to recognize each other's love languages and operate with that recognition. So it's very important. All right. And Gary Chapman, he did some good work on love languages. He came up with like five major love languages. And we have things like words of affirmation, we have acts of service, we have physical touch, you have things like gifts, quality time. So those are some of the love languages. And I'm not sure if you already know your love language. Do you feel that you're a physical touch that means the world to you in your relationship? You want to be hugged, you want to be cuddled, you feel just most fulfilled, or you feel special when your partner is able to do that in your relationship. Or are you feeling a lot more excited about things like gifts, receiving a gift, just a meaningful gift that you'll get out of the blue? Does that mean the world to you? Do you love to receive flowers, or a card, or something that's meaningful? Are you a person who loves gifts? Or do you find that you're not really, all that excited about gifts, but you love when your significant person is able to help you with chores and tasks that you have to accomplish? You're able to get that support in doing it. Do you prefer acts of service? Does that make you feel loved and special? All right. Or do you prefer words of affirmation? You're so beautiful, you're so special, I'm proud of you. Do you find that really helps you a lot? That makes you feel really loved? So it's very important to try to identify your love language. All right, and so let's kind of go through some of the love languages. So one, acts of service, which I just mentioned. But if your love language or your partner's love language is acts of service, you have to let them know. And if that's their love language, you have to make sure that you're getting involved in activities that make them feel a lot or makes them feel a lot more supported. So they're doing chores in the kitchen, you go in, you help. They're helping, they're doing like the laundry, you're helping them. And whatever they're doing, the tasks, especially family tasks or tasks that you both have to get accomplished together. Maybe you like to do that alone, but you feel, if you've established that their love language is acts of service, then you want to make sure that you're doing all of these tasks with them, you're supporting them a lot more. And so that's one. And secondly, if your partner's love language is physical touch, then you have to make sure intentionally you're hugging your partner. You're using every opportunity, giving them that back rub, that they need. Don't be lazy in your relationship. All right. So if your partner wants to feel cuddled, maybe you have to increase that touch time. When they're walking out, maybe to work or whatever, where they're going, if you're doing walks together, then you just grab their hand. They need that that embrace. And you're gonna try to use every opportunity to hug them and let them feel your physical touch and presence. Okay, so that's another love language. Another one is using gifts, so giving gifts. So you want to, give your partner something that makes them feel special. Perhaps it's going to be, if it doesn't have to be flowers all the time, but it could be something that you find that it's gonna be meaningful for them. You want to perhaps do something like you write a poem, you do something, you give them, you surprise them out of the blue. You can do that. It doesn't have to be a special occasion, to express that love. But if you recognize that this is their love language, then you want to do it as often as you possibly can. Okay, so they're surprised a lot with gifts. And it does not, again, have to be anything expensive or costly, but something that's definitely meaningful. All right. Again, so that's another one. And then we have quality time. So if your partner's love language is quality time, then you just have to spend time with your significant person. All right. So you're gonna have those date moments. Date nights are important, and I'll encourage that in every relationship. But if this is the love language for your partner, then you have to make sure that this is happening a lot more frequently. So spending time with them, having those deep conversations are very important too. If this is their love language, so you want to talk to them, on the phone in the nights, and spend, put aside everything else. Okay, so you're not having conversation with someone else on the phone while your partner is talking to you about a topic that they need to, hear your opinion. They want to know that you're listening, and active listening skills, have to be taking place on this one. So paying attention and making sacrifice to ensure that your partner feels your presence. Sharing a meal with your partner could be that quality time that you want to spend as well. So I know the hustle and bustle of life, it gets really crazy sometimes, but we have to make sacrifice. We have to make sure that we're spending time in our relationships, again, just to make it work. So that quality time is going to be very critical, especially if that's the love language of your significant person. Words of affirmation, again, that's the final one. So those are five. Words of affirmation. So you're sharing positive words and thoughts to your partner about them. You're making them feel loved and appreciated. So I love you will come be a lot more important for your partner. This is their love language. So you don't have to wait for their birthday or Valentine's or some other moment to say, I love you. All right. You should be telling your partner that a lot, but especially this is their love language. Please increase that. Tell them that you care. Tell them why you care. Tell them what makes you happy about them. Tell them what looks good about them. Like you have to compliment someone who has that particular love language a lot more. So I want you to start practicing these tips a little bit and a little bit more, and I'm going to just put like, there's going to be a link so you can actually do the love language quiz. So I want you to click on that below, and I want you to do those questions, and you're going to come up with, you're going to see your specific love language, your love languages, and you're going to see it in terms of, the top ones. All right. So you'll see five. So again, acts of service, gifts, physical touch, quality time, and words of affirmation. All right. So do that below, and please, share and let me know, what you came up with, and also your partner as well. They should be doing this quiz. All right. So remember, the relationship is a partnership. It's not one person who is putting out all the energy and work. We have to make it work together. So I want you to start doing that now. All right. So thanks for listening today. I hope that you did get something that's meaningful and that will be helpful for you. So start practicing, start using those love languages to give and also to receive love. So thanks for having me again. And please go ahead, subscribe, share, and like. All right. See you next time.